Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Elev8 Project Podcast, and I am your host, Ryan. And we're going to be talking about today is Black Friday, FOMO, fear of missing out, all the deals, and YouTube gear. So this is the kind of the week where it is Black Friday's coming up. There's Thanksgiving if you're in the US, Cyber Monday, all these different deals. Your inbox is being bombarded by all these early Black Friday deals. And there's that fear of missing out. I feel it. I'm like, what do I need? What should I get? What should I save up for? Should I buy now so I know I have it in hand and not worried that it sells out and I can't get it and I got to wait, let's say, another month to get this product or service that's coming up. So what I want to talk about is YouTube essentials, or the essentials to start your YouTube channel or to elevate your YouTube channel in a lot of different ways. So there are a lot of different things that you can take a look at to purchase specifically for gear so you're not really missing out. And I'm going to categorize this in what I feel is super important, and then the priorities of what I would do if I was just starting out in YouTube. Now, that being said, I'm also continuing my YouTube journey. There are a lot of different products and gear that I want to get, and I do have these things of fear of missing out. And that's the reason why I'm doing this video, because I always take a look at the websites and see how much they have in stock. If they have low quantity, high quantity, should I be worried? Is it a popular product? Is it something that will be on sale? Because I find that Black Friday seems to be really great deals on popular mainstream consumer products. For example, headphones, tablets, things like that of that nature. Computers, not necessarily when you're thinking about YouTube, what specific products that will be a major deal outside of a regular sale. I find that on Black Friday, a lot of the, I want to say, niche products will be on sale, but it's not like a Black Friday worthy sale in the sense of saving on TVs, for instance, where they're saving $1,000 or $1,500. It's more of some of the products I'll be talking about might be on sale, just not any better sale than, let's say, last month in October or back to school or in July, and might be more advantageous if you are willing to wait, maybe Boxing Week or something like that, when they're really clearing out the 2022 models to make room for the 2023 models. So in YouTube, the essentials that I think about if I'm just starting out is audio first. So depending on what you're doing for your YouTube is basically mics. And I'm a firm believer of any type of external mic. But it also really has to come down to what kind of videos that you do. Are you vlogging? Are you doing video podcast? Are you doing talking head where you have the mic in the shot or you have the mic out of the shot? So there are a lot of different types of mics that you could get. And the ones that I would be looking at if I was just starting out is either a USB mic where it is in shot, or a mic that is connected directly into the camera that I'm using. So that's really going to be specific too. If you're using a camera or using your iPhone, or you're using a mobile device, if you're starting off your YouTube channel, how does that connect? And I don't know if I have it here. Oh yeah, I do. Hold on one sec. So just to be clear, I had a lot of different mics when I first started my YouTube channel. One of the first mics that I used was a Samsung Q2U. And I wasn't afraid to have the mic in the shot. What was really important is that everyone could hear me and it was of high quality. because I had a message to share and I wanted to ensure that that message was clear. Audio, yes, is 50% of video. When you're doing YouTube, and I find this even for myself, even lately, when I see a high quality thumbnail and then I press play and I'm seeing like high quality video, I'm like, okay, this is great. If the audio is not high quality or the audio is really bad, I will click off. And I want to be able to hear the content. I want to hear the person that's speaking. And it's kind of really distracting because unlike yesterday versus today, there is a lot of videos or a lot of topics that have more than one video. And I think that there are going to be nuances to perspective of how to use a product or a service depending on what you're searching for. And we're taking a look at products just for instance, let's say a camera. The main features and functionality or the specifications are going to be the same from video to video. There is going to be some different nuances on how they use it and their perspective, which makes it really unique. And if they have bad audio, I'm not really willing to listen as long as I would if it was with better audio. So the Samsung Q2U is a great mic if you're thinking of having the mic in the shot. It's a great USB mic. It has great audio. It's dynamic mic. And I originally purchased it because I was doing a lot of voiceovers in my old role. And it was also had the ability of an XLR connection. So if I ever wanted to upgrade into an external audio source or, oh my goodness, a DAW, digital audio recorder, or something that was external outside of just plugging it into the computer like a USB and not having to worry about my computer doing a lot of the heavy lifting, then I can still use that mic into my audio recorder. I don't know, I'm struggling with that today. So for me, I did end up upgrading and getting, I originally got a Scarlett Solo, and that only had the ability of having one mic, so it's a digital audio interface. That's the word I'm looking for, a digital audio interface. If you ever wanted to upgrade to a digital audio interface, the Samsung Q2U has an XLR connection as well as a USB connection. So depending on, it will basically grow with you. And I still have that mic today, and I'll still use it. It's not my main mic. I'll have it if I'm doing different projects where I need a second person to be speaking at the same time, or even if today I end up having a guest for this podcast, I have another mic that's set up to go. The mic that I'm using right now for this podcast is the Shure SM7B. So this is a mic that I also upgraded when I started my YouTube channel. So even before I upgraded my camera, I upgraded my mic, even though I had a really good mic. And the reason for that is, I knew I wanted to go into podcasting. Two, when I first started YouTube, I had the mic in my shot, and I really liked that. And again, audio was still more important to me than video, and not sacrificing having a lower quality mic outside of a shot, like a shotgun mic. And so I've upgraded the Shure SM7B. I'm not saying you should go to Shure SM7B right away. Again, it's going to be dependent on what you are going to be doing. Now, are those two things, like the Shure SM7B and the Samsung Q2U, as an example, would be one of those killer Black Friday deals? I honestly think not. I don't think these are going to be the types of Black Friday deals that you need to worry about that will be jumping off the shelves that people will be lining up for. They'll be most likely lining up for that big screen TV or the PlayStation 5 or video console and those type of things. When it comes to other mics that might be a good Black Friday deal, might be something like this. Now, if you're in the video podcast, if you're watching the video podcast on my Patreon, I'm just showing you, this is the Rode VideoMicro. It is a basic mic that does a great job that will give you better audio than the mics that are built into your camera. The cool thing about this is I was still recording on my iPhone for a lot of my YouTube videos, and I was actually using this mic for scratch audio. And because the mics on my iPhone, I would try to sync the audio from my iPhone with my Shure SM7B, with my Rodecaster Pro, and literally I still had issues syncing the audio. So the term I'm using, scratch audio, is just a better mic to pick up. So there's better latency. And so when I'm ready to sync audio in post, it makes it so much easier to match my video. And I have not really used personally anyways, the Rode VideoMicro as my main audio source for any of my YouTube videos. That being said, this has been, for a long time, been a staple microphone for vloggers, where you can put this right on the mic. What's great about not just this mic, and just to be clear, not just with this mic, I would say any decent mic, the closer the mic is to the audio source, the better the audio is going to be. Again, in the video podcast, I have the Shure SM7B literally centimeters away from my voice. So it is really picking up good quality audio regardless of how much this mic is. And I think that's also the other reason why I was getting great quality audio out of that Samsung Q2U, outside of it just being a really good, decent mic. And this Rode VideoMicro, because it's so small and it's right on top of the mic, or right on top of the camera, and if you're vlogging and you have a wide enough lens, you're going to be really close to this mic, which is why I feel this is such a popular mic. I haven't done any vlogs as of late. I am thinking about doing some vlog style videos though. If you are interested in some vlogging videos, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I would love to try it out. I think the reason why I really haven't as of late, not to say that I can't, is a lot of my life is the same. I have 2 kids. I have this routine, and I don't know. I don't know how exciting that would be. That's why I like doing things like the podcast. And I'm also starting a newsletter, by the way. If you go to my website, Elev8Project.com, make sure to check it out. And I want to do a newsletter, and within that newsletter is going to be a video to update you, to let you know what's going on, what kind of topics I'm doing if you're missing out, the YouTube videos that I'm doing, and I'm thinking of doing some writing as well. So if you want to check that out and you want to join my newsletter, make sure to check out the Elev8 Project or Elev8Project.com. There'll be a link in the description. So when it comes to mics, there is the VideoMicro. This is the one that I personally own. There is another mic that I'm interested in. And the reason why I'm interested in it is because I want to kind of give a variety and change of 2023 of different scenes. I've been using the same scene for a long time. And when I first started YouTube, I had maybe like 2 different angles, 2 to 3. And even now, I think I have a solid 2. But I'd like to take advantage of some different areas of my office. And I'm looking to get some different backdrops. So the other mic I'm looking at is the Rode VideoMic GO II. And I've been hearing such great things. It's low cost as well. So on Black Friday, that is one thing that is on my list. There's actually 2. There is the Rode VideoMic GO II, and there is the Rode Rode Mic NTG. The reason why I really like the VideoMic GO II is, yes, it's low cost, and it is lightweight. It can move around, and I can plug it directly into the camera. And based on the reviews that I've been seeing, is that it has great quality audio with little post processing necessary, like nothing that I really have to do in post. Again, in a well-treated room or in my office, I'm really kind of using the same areas. The cool thing is Final Cut Pro has a great feature for voice isolation as well. So even if there is a little bit of background noise, it does a really good job of isolating your voice to get you a good quality post audio from that. So yeah, so there's the Rode VideoMicro and the VideoMic GO II. Those are 2 mics that I'd probably take a look at for audio. Now, if you really, depending on where you are at in your YouTube journey and what kind of YouTube channel that you have, some dad fuel here is an audio interface, a digital audio interface. I have a Rodecaster Pro, the original, the first generation. I thought about upgrading to the second. That was something that I was thinking about. I was kind of looking at, see if there would be a great Black Friday deal on that. And I'm okay. I don't need to upgrade. I'm happy with the Rodecaster Pro. I'll be doing a video on my 1 year later, 12 months later review of the Rodecaster Pro. I've thought about 2 different big upgrades. One of them was going from the Rodecaster Pro to the Rodecaster Pro 2. And really the only reason why I was thinking about getting the Rodecaster Pro 2 is I was going to replace it as my main digital audio interface, and then have the Rodecaster Pro, something that I can use in different areas or bring with me, etc. And after thinking about that, that's great in my home or my home studio, in my office, where let's say I'm going to go to a different room and have this set up, set it and forget it. If I'm going to really be looking at something that's a little bit more mobile, where I'm going to be using some different mics or even shotgun mics that have an XLR connection outside of these Rode VideoMicros, etc., then I'm thinking I'd get an actual field recorder. And there's a couple that I'm looking at. One is the Zoom H6, and the other is an older field recorder, and it's a Tascam DR-60D Mark II. It's a DSLR audio recorder. I think the only issue with that is battery life, and I think the different ways to ensure that you get enough battery life is connecting it with a power bank. And one of the main reasons why I want to get a field recorder is because my daughter does dance recitals. She's in ballet, Highland dancing, Irish dance, and in a lot of her big productions like Year End, etc., I want to be able to connect my Rode NTG5 to this to get better audio. As well, the Tascam DR-60D and also the Zoom H6, if my dance studio is the one that's holding that performance and I'm able to talk to the sound engineers, etc., I can connect this directly into the soundboard. And that is what I've been talking with one of the main sound guys for my daughter's Highland dance. And if that works out, that's definitely something that I would love to do and have that kind of clear audio for those productions. Again, it's crazy. I don't think that's something that you would want to jump into, but if it is, if you're looking at field recorders, that's what I'm looking at for some Black Friday deals, is the Tascam DR-60D Mark II and the Zoom H6. Woo! Now we get into, okay, audio's covered. What are some other essentials for YouTube might be great to look at for some Black Friday deals? And that would be cameras. You know, we talk about audio first. I think if you're going to upgrade anything and you allocated a certain amount of budget, I would say jump on to getting better audio. Be a mic, audio interface, etc., a better USB mic. And nothing against USB mics. I think USB mics are great. But if you can plug something directly into your camera, you don't have to worry about having a laptop or a computer that your audio needs to be connected to. And also post. When you have a mic that's connected directly to your camera, it's automatically already synced. You don't have to sync in post-production. So camera. So depending on what you are filming your YouTube content right now, even if it's a mobile device, this is a great time, and there's going to be massive deals for a new iPhone, new Samsung device. If your mobile device is your video source, if you want to jump to a dedicated YouTube video camera, there's a few things that I would take a look at. One, that it records in 4K. Two, that it has interchangeable lenses so it can grow with you. So you can have these different focal lengths, wide angles, these different types of things. And that it's easy to use. So what I mean by that, if you're a beginner with YouTube and you're buying a camera, it can be very, very overwhelming when you have a high-end camera. When you get a level entry camera, especially today with technology, you're really getting quality 4K, better than your iPhone or even your Samsung devices. They're easier to use in entry level. Mirrorless camera, and that's probably another thing that I would look at and make sure that it's mirrorless. And you're going to get really good out of the box standard picture profile quality out of a level entry camera. That being said, it all depends also on you, the creator, what kind of topics or channel that you have. If you are running a photography business and you're using YouTube to enhance and market your business, or your videographer, you probably have a kick-ass camera already. And even if you don't and you're looking at some Black Friday deals, you're probably looking at some higher-end cameras, and you have the experience and the knowledge to use those cameras. So 100%. for the beginners, the newbies, the amateurs, the hobbyists, I'd be looking at those things. 4K capability, interchangeable lenses, easy to use, and great quality video right out of the box. And what I mean by that is when you take a look at a lot of different entry-level cameras, it can be easy to use, it could be 4K, it could be interchangeable lenses. The color that comes out of the box without tweaking it may not look that great, where you have to do a little bit more work in post when you're editing those videos. And so I'd look out with, if you're testing these cameras out, to look for great video quality that you're happy with just from pressing record, checking it out, so you don't have to do a lot of color correction in post when you're editing. So it makes it very seamless. The camera that I would recommend, or the camera that I use, that I upgraded from my iPhone into a dedicated YouTube camera, is actually the Sony ZV-E10. And I'm very happy to recommend that now that it is in stock. Last year when I got it, I was lucky enough last Christmas to get it. I think it was, maybe it was around Black Friday. And there's like one in stock. I grabbed it. It was with a kit lens, and it's been literally sold out for the rest of the year. So if you're able to get it, and I think this is the best time, again, with all the criteria that I mentioned, it hits all those points. It has 4K. It's actually 6K. It's oversampled 6K into 4K, so that you're going to get good quality even when you punch it in, and get a lot of detail. It's a Sony camera. It's got great color science. So even with just the regular standard picture profile, I did a lot of YouTube videos without any color grading in post. Literally pressed record and uploaded. It also has interchangeable lenses. Since I purchased that camera, I ended up getting a 30mm Sigma lens, a 16mm Sigma lens. And because, again, my daughter does dance, I have another lens, which is kind of, for my purpose, considered more of a telephoto lens, but an 85mm. Because the Sony ZV-E10 is an APS-C camera, it's a crop sensor, so that focal length, it's cropped. So even though it's 85mm lens, you multiply that by 1.5, which gets me around 130mm. And when my daughter is dancing, I need that focal length, so I'm able to actually see her close up. And it is easy to use. Really, truly, in comparison to the camera that I'm using right now, the Sony FX30, the Sony ZV-E10 is really easy to use. There are other cameras that are out right now that are also great. There is the Nikon Z30, great level entry based on from what I hear. And there's still the, I want to say, classic, tried and true Canon M50 Mark II. And there's also the Sony ZV-1. Now, the big difference between the Sony ZV-1 and the Sony ZV-E10 is that the Sony ZV-1 is a fixed lens. You're going to get the same color science, great quality picture, just you won't be able to change the lens into it, so it may not grow with you depending on the kind of content that you want to create. The other reason why I like the Sony ZV-E10 is that it's more video centric. I'm not a great photographer yet. I've started to take more time in photography. My goal for a dedicated YouTube camera was to be more video centric. Now, when you take a look at the Nikon and Canon and the Sony ZV-E10, when you take a look at those three, I feel Nikon has a little bit of a disadvantage when you want to get better lenses. The whole idea of having interchangeable lenses is having the variety of lenses to get the focal length and the quality that you want to get. And I feel Sony is number one with a variety of different lenses that you can get for the Sony ZV-E10. Canon, I'd say, come in second, and Nikon coming in third. Again, that's today. That could change tomorrow, but something to think about. Nothing wrong with the kit lens on any of the cameras, regardless of what you get. Again, it's later on, if you find that you want to elevate the quality of the video, it's not necessarily changing the camera, it's just changing the glass. Okay, so essentials: audio, video. Those would be the two things I'd kind of take a look at. And then there would be lights. That would be like the third thing. If you're in a controlled studio setting or office, I'd take a look at lights as something to upgrade, either LED panels or soft boxes and anything like that. Even like practical lights, I don't have in this scene. If you're watching this on the video podcast, again, through Patreon, I don't have any practical lights in this scene, but definitely in my YouTube videos, I have a few different lights, hue lights that I use, which, I'll be honest, I don't know what's wrong with hue lights. I definitely will not. I use what you have. That's one thing that I will always say is, when you're starting YouTube, use what you have, the best of what you have. Because I believe that gear does matter to a certain extent. And the reason why the hue lights I have some issues with is because it flickers on screen when I record, and it's really annoying. And I'm able to cover that up just a little bit. It's kind of, like I said, it's just a little bit annoying. Am I looking at some lights right now? I am, but they're like nice to have. It's nothing like outside of like the field recorders where I'm like, oh, I really want to get that. And also possibly that Rode video mic too, depending on the sale price that happens this Friday, is not as important to me. That being said, if you're starting YouTube, audio, I would definitely want to upgrade first. When it comes to your camera, again, whatever you have, lights are super, super important, especially to have a controlled setting. Obviously, if you're filming outside and you're vlogging and you're that kind of YouTuber, then lights may not be as important. I'm hoping if there is some pretty good Black Friday deals, there are some lights that I'm looking at. One is an Amaron 100D. Again, I'm more of a studio setting. And my existing lights, it just gives me that ability and portability to have one main set that's set it and forget it, and then have something set up a little bit where it's a little bit more portable. I can take the light and move it around. And then the last thing, and I put this down as essential, and it could be a lot of different things, but it's just some sound treatment. Maybe some sound, maybe not even blankets. Actually, in my office, I ended up purchasing the sound curtains. And literally, my office doesn't have any windows. And just for one side to stop some reflection, instead of like getting this foam all over the place, I ended up getting this, and it does a great job. If you're interested in that, I actually will put I'll put a link, an affiliate link in the description if you're interested. And it works really, really well. I do have some dedicated sound panels as well in my office, and those you can purchase them. They're fairly expensive. Nothing that I'd probably think that there'd be a huge Black Friday deal, but there is a lot of videos on do-it-yourself sound panels, and to get some of the product from your home hardware like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, that is where I'd see a possibility of some great Black Friday deals. So that would be it. And then there's like the odd things, right? There is mic XLR cables. There is mic arms. There's speakers. There's tripods. Actually, tripods is something that may be a need to be an essential for sure. And with Black Friday coming out, there is always that fear of missing out. And what I do like today versus the past is that a lot of companies, because of low sales, are also guaranteeing the prices. So even though a lot of the things that I've been talking about are actually on sale, there's a few things I talked about that aren't on sale and waiting to see, okay, will it? And I also know that some of the products that I want to get are low quantity. And it's nice to see that a lot of these companies are guaranteeing their price for Black Friday being the lowest price. So that is very cool. So something to think about. So if you are looking at Black Friday deals and you have the fear of missing out, that is my kind of list of things that I'd be looking for if I was starting up YouTube. And hopefully it helps you. If you found value in this, that would be great. And I hope that you are successful and that you're getting some great deals out there. And for your appreciation, let me know. Put something in the comments. Rate this particular podcast episode. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening. And if you want to see the video version of this podcast, please check out the links below for my Patreon. Any support is much appreciated. What is free, though, is hitting a 5-star review for this podcast. Regardless if you are an Apple Podcast or wherever you're listening this podcast from, is truly appreciated. Be safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.